Welcome stampers. Today we're going to be going over DistINKtive stamps. DistINKtive stamps are something that Stampin' Up! Came out with about a year ago, and they're kind of a more photorealistic stamp that allows you to get a really pretty, almost photographic image without having to do the double or triple stamping. And today's is going to be a quick one. I have to apologize right off the top of the bat. This is going to go quick. Last week I thought I had kind of a stomach virus, and it turned out what I had was appendicitis. And so I spent Valentine's Day in the hospital having a appendectomy. So I'm still recovering. And I just didn't want to miss out on this because I know we plan on doing it every week, and I didn't want to fall out of routine. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly get started. Okay, so, ouch. We're going to be working on this card today. DistINKtive stamps, like I said, there's something that are in the catalogs, and they're marked by this little indicator here where it says DistINKtive. And they've got more texture and depth to them in the way that they're created, and that they get a really pretty, almost photographic image when you stamp with them. See, like this is Healing Hugs from our annual catalog. I don't know if you can see that, but we used to have a lot of images like this where we would do double and triple stamping in order to get the different layers of color. And so we would have to figure out, you know, what colors are going to go together, what am I going to lay on top of each other. How is this going to go? And now we don't have to do that anymore. All we have to do is pick up the one stamp and one pad, and we're off and running. I'm going to be working with the Lasting Lily stamp set today. This is something that is currently offered as a Sale-A-Bration gift. You can only earn this for free. This is a level 2, meaning you get this for free by placing a $100 order. I've got most of it mounted up because, like I said, I want to move this along quickly. And it comes with lots and lots of little pieces, so you can layer up and design and, you know, get everything going. And it makes this beautiful detailed image. Now, some people have said that they have gotten this stamp set or other DistINKtive stamps and not been able to get a good impression with it. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about why and how to fix that. One of the things is when Stampin' Up! Makes their stamp pads, they store upside down, kind of. I mean, the pad is upside down so that all of the ink is pooling to the top, making the pads really juicy. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a little bit of overkill. So if you were to go and stamp right away, you go and you ink up your stamp, and you go to press it onto your cardstock, and look, you have kind of a blob. And that's not really what we're going for. And so one of the things we do to fix that is we will take the back of a spoon, this part with the no edges, so we're not going to be harming our pad. And I don't know if you can see, I can definitely see how it's pushing the ink down to the bottom, and it's making the upper part much lighter. So then I can come in with my stamp and stamp with it, and I have a much better image. Oh, I feel like I'm getting in the way of the light. Can you see that? So if you start playing around with DistINKtive stamps, or, you know, maybe you're even using a regular stamp, and, you know, you went to stamp into it and you got that ink all around the outside ring that we usually don't want. It may be that you just need to push it around with a spoon. Ooh, look how that comes out, that color. So pretty. So you get a whole lot of detail with just one stamp pad and one stamp. So lots of possibilities. For today's card, I just kind of layered it up using Grapefruit Grove. Oops, get that out of the way. This is, ooh, and then I get my fingers all over it. Time for an embellishment. This is Grapefruit Grove and Pear Pizzazz. And so I'm going to come in with, let's try Highland Heather. And I stamped the stems first. I mean, I suppose you could go either way, but ooh, oh, and we don't want them in purple. Let's not do it that direction. So there's a bunch of different stems that are offered within here. And then this one is a leaf. I also want to point out that I am stamping on a softer cushion. I've got a couple foam pads under here, and that's important to do with your photopolymer stamps because you don't have the foam that you would have on your red rubber that helps get a good impression. Let's see here. The lily comes in two different phases of being open. And the one thing that's great about these photopolymers is you can see right through them, so you can see where you're stamping. Okay, and that's kind of pretty, but again, it's a little bit dark. I'm missing a little bit of detail, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and push this down at the back of my spoon. Then I'm going to come in with flower number 2. There. Beautiful. That came out just like I wanted it to. Lots of pretty detail. I'm doing this one as a sympathy card because I had some requests for that. So I'm going to just stamp with sympathy down in the corner, and this is a stamp that comes within the set. It comes with a bunch of different sentiments, making it very useful, and it has inside and outside sentiments, which is always a definite plus with me. Kind of takes all the hard work out of things for me. I'm using pieces of the chamois. This is a cleaning pad that we now offer within the Stampin' Up! Catalog. It comes in a bigger sheet, and I cut mine into fourths so that I could use it a little easier, especially on the Stamparatus when I'm using that. And then for the top of the card, I wanted something to go across up here, and I'm not really good with a bow, and I could have made one. I mean, it's not an impossibility, but I thought, let's show a different, a different way to do this. Ooh, ouch. So I'm just going to take a piece of ribbon. Now this was the Sale-A-Bration ribbon that was available for the first half of Sale-A-Bration. It was actually so popular we ran out, and we even blew through 2 other orders. So we're to the point now where the manufacturer can't even produce it fast enough to get it to us because we've used so much. So that's really cool, and I hope that means that we will see something similar in an upcoming catalog, because we have obviously shown them that there's an interest. So I just went and put a knot in the middle of the ribbon, and then I put some snail adhesive on the back side. And what I'm going to do is just kind of center my knot, make sure that I'm straight. Let's see, I can use my grid paper for that too. See, if I go on a line and I know that I'm there. See, so I'm on this grid line over here, so I'm going to be on this grid line here. That should help keep me straight. Oop. As long as I'm perpendicular. Okay. So I was a little bit off with my snail. Good thing we were using the grid, huh? Okay, so there is our layer, and then I'm going to give it a few dimensionals. Now, I did hear some people say that they had some luck inking their stamps with a sponge dauber. I will admit I did try that. It kind of sort of worked. Let's see, here's my samples. I don't remember which one it was, but it did work. It was, I think this one, because it was too light. It wasn't giving me enough. This was the blurred out image of it just trying to stamp straight. This was taking the sponge dauber, inking it up, and then inking the back of the stamp with the sponge dauber. This one, I inked it up and then I removed ink with a sponge dauber before stamping. Like I said, it might be that I just need a little more playing around with it. So that is an option, but like I said, I found this spoon thing to work for me so perfectly that honestly, I didn't even work with that a little more because this works so great. So here we go. So I'm just going to center this on here. And there we are. Now all I have to do is add the inside layer with a sentiment, and it's ready to send. The stamp set with the rose is Healing Hugs. It's another Get Well set. It's from our annual catalog. It's really pretty. If you're looking for directions on the bag that I made, that's on my blog. I did it for a blog hop quite a while ago, but I can find the link for it if you're interested. That's just using our bag punch board. Again, I mentioned it is Sale-A-Bration. For Sale-A-Bration, the whole big deal is that if you spend $50 before tax and shipping, you get to choose a product for free. From the brochure, there's no limit. They also have added a level 2, so if you spend $100, you get the level 2 or 2 of the level 1 gifts. As of Friday the 15th, there are new options. They have added this stamp set here. All Adorned is the name of that stamp set, and it was designed to work with the Stamparatus. They have lots of examples where they have done it like in a ring and placed it in corners, and but that's what that was designed for. They also have come out with a beautiful textured embossing folder. So that is called the Country Floral Dynamic Textured Embossing Folder. And you can get that free with a $50 order. Or if you choose to spice it up a bit and do a $100 order, you get this here. This is called Painted Seasons. And it's not just the stamp set, but it's also the DSP. And so there is 12 sheets, 3 each of 4 double-sided designs of 12 by 12 paper, plus 7 of these DistINKtive stamps. So these have the photorealistic in them as well. And then obviously there's always some kind of wonderful special for signing during Sale-A-Bration. And this year what it is you can choose to join one of 2 ways. You can choose to get option 1, whereas you just pick out $175 worth of any product that you wanted and you pay $99. plus tax. They will cover the shipping for you. That's for free. That's $50 more in free product than we usually give away. So we always have a fabulous deal. And then for Stampin' Up! Or for Sale-A-Bration, they just made it that much better. So I'm really excited about that. Option 2 is you can choose for $129. So you would be paying $30 to add on this bag. And I've shown this a few times before. This is a very sturdy, wonderful canvas bag with removable dividers that move around and hold it's as long as our Stampin' trimmer. So it'll hold 2 cases of stamps end to end, or the trimmer. It holds a whole bunch of stuff. It's great for going to events and stamping somewhere else, if you choose to do that sort of thing. But anyway, that's all I have to share with you today. I thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed today's cards and that you get a chance to make some stamps with the DistINKtive stamps. Thanks a lot. Bye.